Phil Strazula, and I'm one of the co-founders of NextWaveHire. Just quickly, a little bit about myself and why we started this company. So on the left, that's me. On the right is my buddy Yash, who I started this company with. Started it a couple years ago. I was at business school. All of my classmates were trying to find what's next in their career. And a recurring theme on campus was, why is it so hard to understand what it's like to work at this company? When you research most companies as a job seeker, you find very generic job descriptions, a career page with probably nothing on it, and Glassdoor reviews. And most Glassdoor reviews are pretty negatively biased, and beyond that, they don't have the kind of information that you actually care about as a job seeker. For example, on Glassdoor, you'll find the pros and cons. I might want to understand what's the tech stack, how does a sales team celebrate the wins, all that good stuff. So I got super passionate about this problem and realized that the best way to solve it was by actually partnering with companies to help them tell their stories. So right now I want to show you an example of a company that we work with. This company called Toast. It's a software company here in Boston. They make point-of-sale software. Some of you guys might know this company. And this is their career site. And we power this career site. And one of the cool things that we've done is we've actually collected hundreds of stories from their employees about what they do on a day-to-day basis. What's the culture like? How should they prepare for interviews? We also show off the culture in some cool ways, like a Spotify playlist. We also allow these companies to attract more passive candidates who are interested in working at Toast, but maybe not quite ready to apply for the job yet. So I want to take you guys through the back end of our system very quickly. As many of you probably know, marketing controls the career site for 99% of companies, which is weird because marketing's KPIs are all about demand gen and revenue, and HRs are about hiring awesome people. HR should control their career site. So for the first time ever, we're actually allowing HR to control their career site. So what does that mean? For example, if I want to add a page about maybe working as a back-end software engineer, please excuse the typos, at my company, it's really easy to add this page. And what we found is that these pages are made much more effective by actual authentic stories by the people who have these jobs, talking about what's it like to be a back-end software engineer at the company. So what we do is we send out these surveys. We have all these survey banks specific to the roles in your company. We've got one for sales, marketing, customer service, etc. And we ask questions like, what's the tech stack built on? And then we add employees to this database, and they answer the questions. So as an employee, I get an email and it says, hey Phil, you've been nominated for your experiences. Please be authentic. Answer off the cuff. Don't worry about ums and ahs. And you can answer these questions through text by just sort of typing out an answer, or you can actually answer it through video by turning on your webcam or mobile phone. So those are some of the cool things that we do to actually collect these stories and share the authentic story behind the story about working at the company. And these manifest themselves on the career site. They also manifest themselves in specific landing pages that relate to the roles within your company. And when somebody gets to one of these landing pages, for example, Toast Engineering, we find their likelihood of applying for a job roughly doubles because they read the testimonials, they find their tribe within your company, and we've got the calls to action that are clear to that person. Going back to the back end here for a second more, I'll show you guys two last features that I think are pretty cool. One is the analytics. So if you talk to almost any HR person, they don't know how many people went to their career site last month. They don't know how many people apply for jobs. They specifically don't know the conversion rate, which is the metric that we track to prove ROI. If you look at the average career site, for every 1,000 people that come, 50 apply. So it's a 5% conversion rate. The best practice in the industry is 11%. So 1,000 visitors, 110 applicants. For the career sites that we power, the average is above 25%. And the reason that we have such a higher conversion rate is because of the better UX, UI, better stories, and these talent communities for people who are not quite ready to apply, but they can leave their name and information, and we'll keep them up to date on what's going on in the company. Again, my name is Phil Strazula, one of the co-founders of NextWaveHire. Thanks for listening. Any questions? Yeah.
Do you have any metrics on how you can improve retention rates?
No, so we actually don't get that data. If you think about hiring, so one thing we always say is recruiting is a lot like marketing, and so we look at it as a funnel. And so if you look at our software, we're very, very similar to like what a Marketo or HubSpot does, just focused on talent acquisition. And so we're really focused on top of funnel things, and that's where our software matters. And then there's 1,000 other variables that reflect whether or not somebody actually stays at the company. Yeah.
If you look, that's a great question. If you look at what that product can do from an HR mindset, it's actually the beginning of the onboarding process, and which is all the data will tell you. That's hugely important for retention.
Yeah, the one way that we actually help with retention is that we get some bad applicants to opt out. Specifically, if you think about like a SDR role where you're cold calling 100 people a day, a lot of people come out of college and they're like, I'm going to work in sales, and they don't understand what that job is actually like. When they go to one of our career sites, there's usually 100 stories about what's it like to be an SDR at this company, and a lot of people say, that's not for me, which is amazing because hiring that person and training them for 6 months and having them opt out after the training stops is hugely costly for the companies. Yeah.
Can you speak about who gives you feedback that they don't know how many people go to their career sites and what the conversion funnel is? Because nowadays, not even with Adobe Tag Manager, but also Google Analytics, you can tag everything. You can set up your funnel, you can create events. So I'm surprised that people don't know.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So most corporate websites are run by a CMS, that's WordPress or whatever. Marketing controls that CMS, they control the Google Analytics that go into it. HR doesn't. And ask any HR person that you run into, 99.9% of them will say, I could probably get that data from marketing, but I don't know it off the top of my head. And it's because it's just like a different thing within the organization. It exists within the organization, but it's not tracked in a way that's actually specific to talent acquisition, and it's not tracked by the people who care about those metrics. Yeah.
So what kind of companies have you been getting traction with? What size? What works well with this?
Yeah, so our sweet spot of company is 100 to 1,000, growing at 20 to 500%. Our smallest customer is probably 30 people. Our largest customer is Nissan. So it kind of spans a huge breadth of businesses. But our sweet spot is really in that sort of like middle market, like fast growing, more innovative type company. Yep.
Do you do any predictive analytics or machine learning to be part of that? Because that seems like an pretty area of conversion.
We have experimented with a couple of applications of machine learning within the platform. Honestly, they didn't drive much value in terms of what we're doing. There's a lot of stuff like that in this space in HR tech, but I think little of it has proved to be actually valuable. Some of it's like cool, but it's not like from a business perspective interesting to the end user. Yeah.
So do you do anything for the user to come to the website because they can see your product only once they're on the website? Right? How do you make sure that happens?
Yeah, so the research shows that the career site is the #1 place that candidates research companies when they find out about them. So it could be you're getting a drink with your friend at a bar, it could be a press release, it could be a job posting on LinkedIn. We do some stuff, mostly organic social posting to drive more traffic, but really, and that's why we're really focused in terms of ROI and conversion right now. Our #1 value to companies is taking your 5% conversion rate and turning it into 25% and saying, by the way, that incremental 20%, those are people that were convinced to apply. Those are the people you actually want to interview. One more question. Okay, thanks everybody.